Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we continue in the most metal music ever played over a fire.
Only you can prevent the scene laid before you.
Only you can prevent, who's a very big, like, rock band.
Only you can prevent AC/DC.
There we go, thank you. I finally tear my way into...
Thunderstruck!
No, flamethrower. I finally tear my way into a small clearing circled by trees. It's just big enough space for morons to cause trouble. A patch of blazing red dances on top of a pile of twigs beneath the tree. The fire branches out on both sides, like a trail of dynamite.
Dynamite!
No, there's a...
Kryptonite.
No, I was gonna say the BTS dynamite is probably more well known now.
That's the one I was thinking of, but I couldn't remember.
Splitting into a short V wheel. The trunk of the tree is blackened with soot, probably from the V wheel.
Yeah, and like the stakes that our father tried to make earlier.
Yeah, apparently, guys, yeah, we had family, troubles with food. Because apparently,
Yeah.
stepfather went out and was cooking on the grill, or attempted to, and literally caught things on fire.
Well, not that. So he literally turns on the grill and he puts all the steaks on the grill. As soon as he puts the last steak on the grill, it just bursts into flames.
Yeah, so it's like he literally set food on fire. Where it's like, uh-oh.
I think he replaced the sauce with gasoline.
With that happening, I'd hope so. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, a group of familiar campers. I only recognize them by their jackets.
Okay.
Stomp on the knee-high flames. All their faces twisted in fear. The one I talked to last night swats his green jacket over it. Like that's going to make any difference now.
What the hell is going on here?
We're drunk, man.
Most of their faces go sheet white, and for a minute they forget about the fire. The kid in the green jacket just keeps swatting the ground, and whenever he lifts his back up, the flames climb that much higher.
You! 3 seconds to tell me what happened.
I point at him, and this time he manages to pull himself away.
I just point at
He turns
you.
to me, his eyes red and watery from the smoke and the crying.
We were...
1,
I thought I put it out.
2,
I didn't mean to.
3.
Get out of the way, before your jacket catches.
I march over and shove him into his friends. He doesn't resist, stumbling into their arms like a limp scarecrow.
All of you, get away from here. Back to the campground.
They watch me with wide, vacant stares. If I were a truck driver, I'd have mowed them down by now.
Move it!
All except one nod and start tripping their way through the woods. The kid with the green jacket stares at the glowing fire, his knees quivering. His little girlfriend, who's like actually half his height, glances back and cups her hands over her mouth.
Come on, let her take care of it.
Is that Taiga? It sounds sort of like
That
Taiga.
sounded like that.
I mean, they did say little. He shakes himself out of it, then wipes his eyes as he runs off into the woods.
It'd be weird.
My
if Tora
attention.
Tora set this place on fire.
My attention turns to the fire. Stomping on it would just submerge me waist deep in the blaze.
Yeah, so this was a really, really bad, what is honey? This was a very bad honeymoon for Taiga and the main character. I can't remember the name.
I mean, I know that they said their romance was ablaze, but I didn't think they meant very literally. The base of the tree trunk ignites, and the embers float down into the scattered path of twigs that make lines for the surrounding trees.
I am on fire.
I dig my boot into the ground and kick clouds of dirt onto it. Specks of embers are snuffed out, but the fire remains just as tall. Unstrapping my walkie-talkie from my waist, I press the comm button to speak into it. Though, to whoever is listening in, it probably sounds more like an anxiety attack.
To Illuminae Station, this is Ranger Adams. We have a situation behind the cabin post. 1070, I repeat, 1070. Get dispatched to send out a fire unit.
A broken voice crackles through the static. Wow, that's bad.
To Illuminae Station, do you read me? To Illuminae Station.
Yeah, well, that's some bad service.
Why is it always bad service?
I look
So
around
bad?
and realize just how caged in by these trees I am. No wonder the signal's jumbled. I didn't notice a fire extinguisher at the cabin, and the station is less than a mile away. If I ran, I could warn them, but with how quickly this is getting out of control, I scan the clearing. Snow is still on the ground, half melted and tossed about in random splotches. It's not a lot, but it could work. I scrape up as much snow as I can sandwich together. Clots of black dirt stain the white. It feels like dry ice in my hands. I toss it over the fire.
Well, I mean, it is snow.
Okay, so I'm assuming the fire is not actually this big in the shot, because otherwise this is literally impossible to put out by yourself. Most of the snow melts in an instant, but a section of the fire is extinguished. For a brief second, relief washes over me, but just as fast as ripped away. The fire flares up, engulfing more of the tree. I wince as the heat kisses my skin, the flames inching closer.
Ooh.
A forest fire on the first day. Wonderful. Taking 3 nervous steps back, I glance over my shoulder. If running to the station is the only way, I guess I have no choice. My legs bend. I just keep talking through the radio as you go to the station.
Yeah.
My legs bend and I take the first giant step. Before I can take another, a shrill voice breaks through the woods.
Eve!
Yellowstone launches past the tree and into the clearing. Branches and leaves cling to her clothes. She skids to a stop, her eyes locking onto the fire.
Okay, so that's happening.
So, look, unless you can literally put it out with your head, no.
She's probably
What are
gonna
you
do
doing here?
Eve! There you are!
She offers a stiff
We're
salute.
here to help!
that.
Her voice is muted, buried under the crackling of fire and rock music.
We?
Yeah, there it is.
Descending from above the trees, Zion flaps her wings as she glides down to me,
You
stopping
both
to
have
meet
died.
me
Can't
face
do
to
this alone.
I told you to stay at the cabin.
Miss Eve, if this doesn't get put out soon, there won't be a cabin.
Valid.
Okay.
Her usual meek voice rings out with mature clarity. Like an untamed weed, the flames shoot up taller. Branches look like candle wicks. Smaller flames shake to the surrounding trees, lighting the very soil aflame. I hate to bring non-park personnel into this, but they are literally embodiments of fucking parks. So I guess that...
They must have some power.
Yeah, so it's like, I guess they technically count as, you know, park staff? Whatever. She has a point.
Fine. But as soon as things start looking hairy, I want you to get out of here.
They give hurried nods. Good enough for me. Congrats, girls. You're deputized.
Gather up as much snow as you can and dump it on the fire. Dirt works too, but don't give the fire any extra fuel.
Ma'am, yes,
Will
ma'am.
my wreath work?
We all scramble to work. Yellowstone and I search for scattered piles of
Is
snow.
mayonnaise water?
No. We scrape them up by the armload and drop them onto the fire.
But what
The
if
snow-
I liquidize it and then pour it over
Stop
the
talking.
fire?
The snow evaporates before our eyes.
Ain't I the dumbest idiot you know?
Zion flutters up to the peaks of the trees, shaking any branches that are still coated white. Snow crumbles away, smothering large portions of the flames. Sounds like sizzling bacon.
Ooh, bacon.
As helpful as Zion's effort
Friends.
is, it only puts out
A
the connecting
reference.
trails of fire. The second tree cracks as flames spread across the bark. Then the next tree. The smoke is harsh and oppressive, like smoke. Flying right into the back of my nose and filling my lungs with buckets of burning air. Squinting is the only way to see through the pain. I expect my eyes to shrivel up in their sockets. Again, she has water in her literal skull.
It could be hot water, and I don't know if that helped.
Through a fit of pained coughs, I call out to Yellowstone and Zion, hoping the 2 blurry watercolors in front of me are them.
No good. We need to get out. ASAP.
Wait, I have an idea.
I'll make
Save
it rain.
If we stay here, we're toast.
Exactly, toast.
The blur that I'm pretty sure is Zion ignores me, turning to the Yellowstone blur instead.
Yellowstone, you know I love you lots, right?
I'll
Of
sacrifice
course I do.
myself.
Love you lots too. But the fire. I know. Which is why I'm really super sorry for
She's
what I'm
gonna
about
punch
to
her
do.
in the gut.
Please don't hate me. Huh? How could I ever hate my Earth Inc?
Zion raises up her tiny legs and stomps down on Yellowstone's foot. The snapping of branches and crackling of fire isn't enough to disguise the crunching I hear as Zion digs her heel into Yellowstone's toes. There's a broken whine. The pain is delayed.
Why?
The high-pitched whine cranks up in frequency, growing as sharp and piercing as a fire alarm. A few
I think
sniffs.
she broke her foot.
Yeah, a few sniffs and it dissolves into bawling, shrieking straight into my eardrums. I go from shooting my eyes in the smoke to covering my ears to drown out the crying. Well, now I'm going to burn to death and be deaf.
Like, here's the thing: does hot water work over a flame?
I mean, it's water.
I'm just.
Yes.
Okay.
The brain-rattling shriek pierces my skull. Water bubbles from the opening of Yellowstone's head, boiling like a pot on the stove.
It stings when it touches my skin.
With the explosive power of a gunshot, a geyser of water shoots out of her head, spraying into the air.
Whoa, what?
Nani?
You're doing great. Just keep crying. Oh, try.
Just break my foot a little
Yellow
more.
keeps the longhorn sobbing going. The water sprinkles down onto me, cooling me off in the midst of the hellish heat.
It does.
Oh, that's it.
I hear you loud and clear, kid.
She's going to step on her other foot.
I shoot Zion a thumbs up. I have to give it to her. This is a smarter plan than anything I could ever come up with.
Yellowstone, aim for the fire.
Okay.
My foot is broken. I can't turn.
Sobbing like a child lost in the supermarket, Yellowstone obeys, bowing her head and blasting the geyser at the trees.
I
Zion,
just imagine. It's so fucking hilarious.
Zion latches onto Yellowstone's waist, guiding the rush of water to the place. It reminds me of a firefighter aiming a fire hose.
A walking, talking fire hose.
A fire hose that has her foot broken! Ah!
She squeezes the foot. Like water comes out.
God damn it, that hurts now! The swaying red and orange shrinks as the water splashes down on it.
Foot after this.
Yeah, bit by bit the fire dies down. Smoke lighting from the gray plumes that choked the air only seconds ago blankets the clearing with a layer of mist.
Oh shit.
The roaring of flames quiets into snaps and pops of a campfire until all I hear... Oh, it's slowly fading out. All I hear are Yellowstone's hushed whimpers. Her tears and the geyser have dried up, as simple as twisting off a faucet.
Only you can prevent my broken bones.
Yeah. Remember, don't go to work late. Otherwise, you burn a forest down. Don't burn a forest down. Get to work on time.
Don't smoke cigarettes in the forest. That's your downtime.
Not the problem here. 3 of us hack up our lungs, retreating from the smoke so we can get a better look.
Is it out? Did we get it all?
Also, if you broke my foot, does that mean you broke a mountain?
Unclear. Yellowstone brushes away the remaining streaks of tears.
Looks like it.
How are you able to stand?
I scuff the heel of my boot against the dirt in case there's any stray sparks.
Yellowstone!
Zion tackles Yellowstone's legs, snuggling her face into her jacket.
So proud of you.
She starts
You
pinching
really
her
go
face and
after
saying, "Why did you do that to me?"
So, boss, that's how you say it, right? Gee
Not at all.
whiz. You really think so?
Also, I don't think I have a foot left. I'm about to fall.
She wraps her arms around Zion and brings her in for a hug.
You did pretty swell out there, too. That was some quick thinking.
I'm gonna hold a grudge against you. I hope you know that.
I crack a smile, and how can I not? We just stopped this whole section of the park from going up in smoke. Also, these two might be adorable. Still, I can't help but shudder at what would have happened if I weren't here. And it's all because of those punks. Another group of careless campers. If it's not painting on rocks, it's hunting without a license. If it's not hunting without a license, it's somehow starting a forest fire in the biting cold of early spring. My smile that bursts from happiness is short-lived. A glowing sense of duty lights up my guts. Something I haven't felt in a long time. As raging as the fire. I trudge my way out of the clearing.
Miss Eve,
Thanks for the help. But you two need to get back to the cabin
where are you going?
to snuff out another fire before it spreads.
Please don't kill them! The rage stews inside me, building like a pressure cooker. I storm out of the woods. Pups howls yelp from the cabin as I pass it. Of course this would happen. Of course it would. How could Jesse think things would actually get better here? Why would I even humor the optimistic junk? After all this time, I should know better. I should know how these people operate. I should know every thoughtless bastard tells themselves they aren't the problem, and that one slip-up won't hurt anything. How the old men grumble about permits and feel entitled enough to throw their empty cans of beer in the lake because a sliver of their 6 figures are tossed to us, like tossing leftovers to dogs. As you can see, that this complaint about the U.S. Government and corporate greed and whatever else she's saying in here is going on for quite a while. Not that it's wrong, just that it's going on for quite a while. It's not enough that I'm beholden to the greed and laziness of bureaucrats and the drooling masses. The land has to be too. Wait, so you're telling me that that Yosemite is literally beholden to you?
I don't know what that means, but okay.
The girl that's in the cabin who's is beholden to the masses, including her.
I don't know. What does beholden mean?
Beholden as in, like, I literally don't know how to explain it in words. Like, it is just what it means. Like, it's like it's when you are under the authority of something.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah, you are beholden to them. Its vivid lushness, airbrushed with greens and yellows, and on those dewy autumn mornings, the brown and orange of harvest. The salt and pepper. Are you even saying words anymore?
Like, why are you going into this much
From
detail?
the impenetrable Rockies to the harsh beauty of the Badlands
understand.
to the
You are
sparkling
pissed
shores of the Pacific
off.
and Atlantic, my anger at these people cannot be suppressed. It's just another resource to exploit, to profit off of, to enjoy, and then abandon. If that's how it's going to be, if that's the world we built, let me be the first to try and knock it down. When I get to the camp, the Brat Pack is huddled in front of the tent. It shakes and blows with the wind, held down only by stakes driven into the ground.
I'm laying down the law.
They speak in anxious whispers. Anxious whispers.
Ancient whisper.
Anxious whispers. Unaware of my presence. The kid in the green jacket
wish it
puffs away
said-
at a cigarette combing his fingers through his messy hair.
I wish it said ancient whispers / German or something like that.
His girlfriend is the first to see me charging over. She mumbles his name, but by the time he notices me, I'm already in his dumb face. I nab him by the collar and yank him from the safety of the group. I twist his shirt so my knuckles press against his neck.
I've met a lot of idiots on this job, but you must be a real protege.
Like the splitting of the Red Sea, his friends clear a path around him.
Take it easy, lady.
This is assault! Oh my god, do you know how unethical this is?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
almost as bad as arson. Wanna report it?
That shuts her up. I'm not going to lose any sleep because I dangled my slice of authority over these idiots. Not now.
What was rattling in that skull of yours, huh? You a firebug? This what gets you off? Or are you just stupid?
This moron with his ironed-out, wrinkleless brain can only find it in himself to stutter. As he shakes, a pack of cigarettes bound around his breast pocket.
That's what I thought.
I tug him closer. He swallows, his Adam's apple brushing against my fist.
Listen here, you little shit.
Oh, fuck.
Finally, he breaks out of his catatonic state and struggles to pull away. This just pisses me off more. I snatch the lit cigarette from his mouth and crumple it up in my hand.
I said listen!
The cigarette singes my palm, but I hardly feel it, thanks to the adrenaline. Maybe this is what finally puts the fear of me into him, because he gasps, audibly. The last of the smoke whisks out of his mouth.
Do you know how sick I am of this? How often I have to sit by and watch people like you destroy good things? Does it even register? Is it some kind of game?
My throat clenches, and my eyes stinging with tears. I blink it away, but my unclouded vision only shows my fist clenching his shirt. There's an awkward silence as his friends glance away. Even he starts to wince, but I only grip tighter.
What gives you the right to burn the last few pieces of dignity this scarred husk of a rock has left? To raise any proof that we were once humble enough to live and breathe and die with the world we got dropped into. Before we got
Holy
so
fuck.
tied up with ourselves, we felt the urge to make a distinction.
You're saying a lot of big words, lady. I don't understand what you're saying.
Answer me! Tell me I'm not just a bandage for your arrogance!
Okay, I can see that she has a problem, and I think that, like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy. Like, okay, I think I see she has a problem, and I'm just going to accept that she's not yelling at me.
I was just trying to start a campfire with a cigarette, okay?
A bird caws. For a moment, all I hear is the wind. Tears fall absent-mindedly from my cheeks. A campfire with a cigarette. 4 years of pent-up anger, forgotten passion, frustration, and confusion. It all comes rocketing out of me as I swing my fist at his face. A hand grips my arm before I can connect.
That's enough, Eve.
I spin around, seething with fury. Yosemite stares down at me, A little worse for wear, but tall and straight like a sequoia. She towers over the campers. They look like shrubs in comparison.
You've already chewed them out. They were just about to leave anyway.
Her voice is stern and certain. She scans the group of campers, her steely gaze punctuated by the residue of sweat that sticks to her cheeks. They each give an affirming nod. The kid in the green jacket wiggles out of my death grip, and the whole lot of them scramble further into the camp.
Why the hell would you do that? They're just going to call...
Aw, hugs are nice.
Very nice. She envelops her arms around me and then pulls me in for a hug. My hat blows off.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
What?
Nani?
Her voice is a whisper that caresses my ear.
You've done enough. At least for today.
I've done enough? I hear that and go limp. Over her shoulder, in the thick of the woods, I can see the cabin nestled under the pines like a forgotten paradise.
I thought she was further away from the cabin.
Apparently not. The citrus smell, look, the distance is kind of, confused at the moment.
Confused in a lot of writing.
Yeah. The citrus smell of lemongrass sticks to Yosemite's jacket. Her skin, while no longer feverish, is warm like an embrace from a blanket. The image of the cabin blurs as my breath shakes, and for the first time in 4 years, the tears aren't angry, or frustrated, or confused, only sad. I can finally let them be sad.
I just wanted to protect what I love.
Nani?
I mean, here's the problem. This metaphor of them being the literal national park gets very muddled when the park is praising her for protecting it, and then accidentally getting off on her saying that she loves this park. Again, this is so such a weird metaphor, because it's like I keep making jokes about like this being like her being in love with this girl, but it's like, but she actually does love the park, and this is the park.
Yeah, so
what am I supposed to do with this?
Okay, let me say something here. I in no way hate this story, but at the same time, I'm like, this is fucking weird.
This metaphor is so weird. Yosemite gasps, as if her breath has been sucked away. She pushes my head down, pressing it against her shoulder as she strokes my hair. I cry into her jacket, the tears dampening the hide and leather.
You're a fool.
She
Were you,
chuckles,
baby?
and I hear the small grin of her voice.
But maybe we need more fools.
The tears keep coming. So much I think I might choke on them. With each breath I draw and every sob I take, my throat gets tighter. Maybe it's trying to wring it all out after all this time. To be commended like that means more to me than approval or a pat on the back from Jesse. It's validation. It's acknowledgement.
So
that
fuck
even,
you, Jesse.
Yeah. That even if what I'm doing is meaningless, I've still devoted myself to it and suffered. And maybe that suffering isn't entirely worthless after all.
I'm also gonna have to yell at the Rangers later to fix the stupid signal issue.
Yeah. And as Yosemite holds me, while the wind howls through the branches and the larks whistle above us, I start to think maybe it's worth it to hold on and suffer for just a bit longer. I completely forget to radio in the problem.
Just listening to all that gives me a headache. How on earth did you find so much trouble on your first day?
Define first day.
Jesse's voice pops up with static over the headphones. I turn from the radio and back to the girls.
What kind of radio you using? Like, are you using like
ham?
Yeah, I was about to say, is it a ham radio?
Yes. No, they are.
Oh shit!
Look, yes, it actually is that a ham radio. Let's be honest, the national park is that cheap.
I almost fell back in my chair.
Don't do that. I turn from the radio and back to the girls. Yellowstone dusts in the corners, inspecting for even the tiniest specks. Zion rubs Pup's pink potbelly in front of the roaring fireplace. Yosemite jots down notes on whatever scrap piece of paper she can find on a table littered with them.
I guess I just have a penchant for it.
But still, to just stumble on a fire like that.
Yeah, stumble is the right word.
She says it with a phony curiosity that seesaws with genuine concern. She suspects something, and she's trying to goad it out of me, as sly as ever.
Well, in any case, I'm just happy you're safe. We got awfully lucky with this one.
With all this wind, you better believe we did. It could have been an even bigger pain in the neck.
And I could have been
Pain in the
dead.
neck is still a pain in the neck, Eve. Still going to be sore when you're hunched over all that paperwork.
The first few sentences are so layered with subtext, I'm not sure where my exhaustion for having to write it ends, and Jesse's lament for having to read it begins.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get around to that.
You'll have it for me the next time I visit. Maybe if you're nice to them, someone at the other station will transcribe it for you.
Sunshine beams through her sadistic voice. I can feel the hand cramps already.
But Eve,
Mood turns serious.
are you sure there isn't anything you want to tell me?
Not a thing.
Okay then.
She moves on from it. I'm not entirely sure she's convinced, though.
In that case,
I
I'll
didn't
talk to you
definitely
tomorrow.
chew out
And the day after that.
a camper.
You really don't have to.
Oh, but I want to.
I doubt that.
Over and out, Jesse.
She giggles.
Over and out, Eve. Arnie, get your grubby hands off my trail mate!
The radio cuts out into static, leaving my ruptured eardrums to recover on their own, and also for Ernie to get the shit kicked out of him.
That's
Yep.
that's the best joke that's made so far. My trail mix.
I set the headphones aside and turned to see everyone but Yosemite looking at me.
I knew it
so
all
good.
along. You're just a soft serve softie.
Call me
the
that
cherry on
again, I
top.
break your other foot.
Yosemite flips the paper over and scoffs.
The pitted kind, maybe. Careful. If you bite down, she'll crack your teeth.
I join her at the table and collapse into my chair.
Zip it. Or next time I'll actually let you burst into flames.
I don't
It
know
was
if that
just
actually
a
happened.
fever. I would have been fine. Eventually.
Yeah, and the house would have burned
Here's
down.
the thing, if the whole forest burns down, does that mean she gets cancer or something?
No, it means that she gets a really bad fever and eventually the fire burns out and she's fine. It's very literal.
Like that makes any sense. What if there's an actual campfire, or lightning strikes a tree? What happens then, huh?
What did I tell you about linear thinking? If this truce is going to continue, you're going to need to expand to the abstract.
I'm being abstract here. I'm abstracting on what the fuck you're talking about. In that literal fire causes your body to literally set on fire.
Your existence is plenty enough abstract for me already.
Valid. Yosemite pauses over her work. She looks up and smirks, and I smirk back. Who knows? It might be fun to have someone around to spar with. At the very least, she's more engaging than any camper I've ever torn apart. Literally.
This girl bites back. Yeah.
The other girl, I bet, definitely didn't bite back.
No.
All right, everyone, listen up.
Yellowstone and Zion stiffen to attention, and Pup rolls over onto his butt.
If you're bunking here, I want this place to stay immaculate. Last thing I want to deal with after clocking out is a pigsty.
Yellowstone will handle it.
She can start cooking for one more, too. That's so mean, guys. How can you just sell me up the river like that?
I mean, we did break your foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
that reminds me. What are you going to do with those campers, Miss Eve?
Track him, find him,
She
kill
has
him.
so much fucking, like, bits of, like, plants all over her.
I know.
Flip their lids? Make them
Flip
apologize?
their lids.
And take them out back?
Yes! Yellowstone
None
is
of the
nominated
above.
for Two Bros
Letting
Game
them
Night.
off the hook. If I'm lucky, they'll get picked off by a killer in the woods.
Oh,
Otherwise,
shit.
everybody gets one free pass.
Well, I mean,
Everybody gets
with
one.
that Winnie the Pooh horror movie, it is very possible that a bear will just eat them. Both look shocked, but after glancing at each other, they shrug. Pup trots over and curls up at my feet.
Now that's funny.
What is it this time?
For someone who doesn't care, you sure put a lot of energy into it.
That's also valid.
Chapter 1 over.
Howdy, yo, campers!
Wait, hold
and
up.
welcome to me and Zion's first fireside chat.
Yup. This is a thing.
What is this?
No clue.
Hello.
Is it?
It's very nice to be here.
It's a fireside chat.
Today
Clearly.
we're gonna do our gal Eve proud and talk
Can you
about
shout
the
out your
history
bird
of the
game night?
National Park Service.
Oh, here's the educational part of this edutainment game, I guess.
Before Yosemite finds out we took her books. I hope. Aw, don't be square, cutie. We got this.
Did you say
It
so?
all started back in the 10th century when Leif Erikson.
And I'm
That's
left.
a little too far back, Yellowstone.
Yeah, we need modern US.
Oh, Columbus and his pilgrims then. I don't think that's quite right either. It's a good guess, though.
Is it?
The National Park Service actually has its roots in the years following the founding of the United States.
There we
In
go.
1790, after getting permission from Congress, President George Washington obtained land near the
Damn, these
Potomac
were
River
actually
to
very
build a new
well
capital
educated
city.
here.
This city was named Washington, D.C., and the plan was for it to have a lot of really pretty parks and monuments.
Unfortunately,
Well, we got the
none of that shit
monuments
happened.
Like the Lincoln Memorial? A little too soon. But you're on the right track. These places were called the National Capital Parks, and they laid really important groundwork.
Yeah, I'm trying not to talk over this bit, guys. This is just
Whoa,
literal,
so the Park
actual
Service
education.
is old as dirt, huh?
That is true.
Not really. There's still ways to go before the actual Park Service. What happened? I thought you read the book. I did, but without pictures, all those words just make me so drowsy.
And she
Oh.
nods up.
Well, I guess I can explain. If that's okay.
It's fine.
Knock our socks off.
Your socks off.
I'll try. For a long time, most parks were run by different groups. No one really thought about preserving land until people started looking to settle in the West. I
That's
remember
sad.
what happens now. A whole bunch of hippies got misty-eyed and started thinking about how they could keep the land from getting stomped on. One of whom was... George... Yeah? Harrison?
George Harrison.
No. Kathleen! George Kathleen. Phew. Yay! Good job, Yellowstone.
I thought it was going
Good
to be
try.
Washington,
George
but
Catlin
whatever.
was an artist and writer. He lived with Native Americans and was one of the first outside of their tribes to paint Plains Indians in their day-to-day lives. While he
Yep.
was kicking
Now we're
back
into
in
artists.
South Dakota, he realized we'd be in a lot of trouble unless humans put their heads together.
Uh-huh.
Not unless... By some great protecting policy of government in a magnificent park. A
This
nation's
is all a
park
quote, by the way.
containing man and beast in all the wildness and freshness of their nature's beauty. We're almost to my favorite part.
The part you
It's
barely
my
remember.
favorite part too, because in 1861, the United States Congress appointed the geologist Ferdinand Hayden to lead an expedition to the Yellowstone region of Wyoming.
And that's where Yellowstone comes from.
Yep.
That's me! That's me! Uh-huh. And he thought you were so pretty that when he came back, he asked Congress to make you a national park. Aw, he should have gone further south if he wanted to find a real cutie.
Oh.
Anyway, it was in 1872 when President Ulysses Grant finally
Yep,
signed
Ulysses
the
Grant,
bill that
there he
set
is.
aside 2.2 million acres of Yellowstone as a public park. So if you think about it, you're the first national park.
So you're older than me.
Cricket, I'm old as dirt.
Yes.
The Act of 1906 made it possible to protect more areas as parks and monuments, but they were run by different departments. It was confusing.
Of course it
So
was.
on August 25th,
It's always confusing. It's the
1916,
government.
The National Park Service was founded. Ah, yes. The best holiday after Arbor and Earth Day.
Holidays that no one remembers or actually
That was a thing.
celebrates.
It would take a while before it got the power it has today.
Execute Executive Order 6166.
Good joke, but that is the
Yay!
the
You
order number
remembered again. From then on, everything was under strict control
Wait,
by
were
the
you making
Department
Star
of the
Wars
Interior.
reference? Yes.
That is, yeah.
And they've been yanking our chain and screwing us over ever since. You sound like Miss Eve. It's scary.
Good.
That's because I heard her grumble something about it earlier. She talks some mean jive, let me tell ya.
Yeah, see, the thing is, there's There's like 1,000 departments in the United States, but each of them are under like main departments. So, yeah, this is under the Department of the Interior. She just didn't get voiced.
No, she did.
Oh, then my thing stopped working literally for her.
Well, it was quiet. It was distance.
Oh, got it.
Woo! Would you look at that? We're all out of time. Catch you next time, campers. And remember to love our parks.
We already visited you.
Yep.
It wasn't as cute.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, in fact, it was very confusing trying.
Zion thinks you're incredibly awesome. Achievement unlocked.
That's good. Thank you, Zion.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I think we're now at the part where it's a new chapter.
Well, let's find out.
Next time.
No! Oh, wait.
No, that's page select.
Oh.
So
That's some very...
we go to
static
return to
music.
title. You can say
Ooh.
load, or not load. God dang it.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Yep, return to title. Episode.
Did we unlock it?
Unclear. Well, we're very clearly not in...
We're not in
We've not been
Kansas
in
anymore.
2. So, we either are still in 1 or in 2. So,
Well,
we'll find
we'll
all that
see.
out next time, guys. Until then, the future is very uncertain. What is certain is you guys are awesome, and there'll be more Two Bros Game Night tomorrow. See you then!
Goodbye.